If the crash retrievals are true, then all bets are off.
It's very hard for people to get their minds around where the real power is. And it's not at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The reality is something much more stark.
They've been working on this for 60, 70, perhaps 80 years.
The reason why the government is talking about these UFOs now, they're getting ready for the next level of war.
Are these objects a national security concern?
They're proffering a narrative of a national security threat that doesn't exist.
I call them alien reproduction vehicles. They're made by private corporations somewhere on this planet.
Technology from Roswell from 1947 has largely been held back from us.
Portal technology, teleportation, whatever you can imagine, it's already been done.
The biggest secrets are not the zero-point energy and electrogravitics. It's the science of consciousness. All their communication systems are moving through the consciousness field and are thought actuated. The people of the CIA call it WSFM, weird science and frickin' magic. The transdimensional interstellar technology will benefit humanity.
There has been tremendous disinformation.
The media is keeping secrets with the government.
These are lethal, vicious people. And I'm focused on exposing the extraordinary technologies that they want to keep secret. No aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by it.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Captain Doc Skinner on board the Starship Pariah. Hope you're all having a great day today. Boy, do we have a show for you. That we do. And I'm just going to say this up front so that anybody that might worry, because things happen when these people come on shows. Crazy stuff. So if anything is to happen tonight, we will be on Rumble. So you can do that. Go to Rumble and type in the DOC Force, and you can watch us there. Subscribe if you like. I'm going to be uploading a bunch of videos of old great stuff, even stuff that's got banned. Kind of like these two guests I got coming on tonight. They've had their share of that as well. We might dabble in that. So real quick, let's do some roll call for this last Tuesday night. Paradigm Shift came in, but will not be here, unfortunately. But hey, we saw you. Thank you so much. You were first on board. Appreciate you. Edward Sosa is here. I can't do it. Orleo Vato. Yeah, third year Spanish one I gave up. So, let's see. Dots MC. Want to say hello to Dots. It's from Ireland. He's been joining us this week. Hope you're enjoying the shows over there. I would like to plan a trip for next October to Scotland, Ireland area. So maybe we might have to have a pint. Don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Lantonio is here. Welcome. Hey, Doc. Hope I get the reminder. Well, yeah, I posted in there. We're going to start in 12 minutes. So I hope you did. That's why I do the little trailers and stuff, because I know they aren't letting you guys know. So, yeah, let me just check this real quick. Oh, yeah. Obviously, Laura's in the green room right now. She's like, take me. I was like, yeah, we should go. We'll get back to the comments here. Let's see, Donna Booten or Bootin. It's Booten because there's no E, right? Booten. I hope I'm not saying that. If I am, I apologize. But Donna, welcome from Alberta, Canada. Wow. That's the one thing I regret. I did try it once. I got a huge map of the world when I first started doing this, and I ended up stepping on pins in the carpet. So that kind of went into the garbage can. But I wish I had some way to kind of see where everybody is. That would be awesome. Like I said, this is my last week doing this, and I'm not saying forever. But I got to do some stuff. So I'm having a big blowout week this week. Original Old Dog is here. Welcome. Yes, live it is. And I just said your name. I hope that's as live as I can get it. Malia's here. Malia, cheers. Welcome, Malia. Malia went to Scotland recently. And because I was saying I wanted to go, she was like, you want to go? And I got an extra ticket. Someone, isn't going. And I wasn't able to. I wish I did, because she found this huge family crest, my family crest, at the Loch Ness Lodge. And she's going to, I got to talk with her about that and hear more of the story, but more reason for me to go check it out. But Ireland too. I love Ireland. I've always been attracted to that whole area. Lunar Sparkles is here. Welcome, Lunar. Hello. How are you? Oh my. Sky Allen is on board. Welcome. I'm going to go through these quick. So Audrey, hello, dear. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. She normally is on the Millennium Falcon, and I'm not kidding about that. Dan says, this will be fun, and it always is. And we're always riding the edge of the envelope, especially with these guests. Really, two of my favorite people. I just love these guys and girls. Lady, you know what I mean. But it's gonna be great. Alien Bumps here. Welcome aboard. Got Sky Allen. Now you're all talking to each other, so skip all that. Just want to make sure I don't forget anybody. Facebook users here. Hello, Chris LaPrath. And we got to get you on this week too, sir. We're just gonna have one night we're playing like 7-8 people. I think maybe tomorrow night be podcaster night and get Rex Bear and a bunch of others on here and just have fun. Racked is here from Alaska. Welcome aboard. That is, have I had anybody else from Alaska? I think maybe once, or nobody's, or they just haven't mentioned it. So welcome. Let's see. You're all hello to everybody. Mr. B from Australia, and he's got a show, Truth Seekers. You got to go check it out. It's pretty. Yeah, go over there, subscribe. He's awesome. And then we have Spaceman is here. Welcome, Spaceman. Glad you can make it. Chuck Nichols is here. What it is, y'all. Terry Reesing, the original OG. Can't have a show without. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Reba Serrano, welcome, darling. Glad you could make it. And yeah, there we go. All right. So early bird gets the word. And you got the shout outs. All right, hold on one second. That was a lot. One thing that'll never get old. All right. So let's like do this, shall we? All right. I have no idea where this is going to go tonight. And like I said, if for any reason one of us has said something or we get the axe on the normal platforms, head over to Rumble. Just saying. So all right, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, two of the most amazing people I've known on this whole planet. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooks Agnew and Laura Eisenhower. Or a picture of Laura.
Hi.
There she is. There she is.
Gotta open my official 1028 Productions drink.
Oh, isn't that sexy? Cheers, sir. So anyway, how are you two?
I'll tell you, I haven't been this busy in a long time. Ever since the Great Resignation, the Fortune 100 has just been burning my phone up, and I have been my consulting company is, for the first time, really doing better than all my other companies. So I'm spending a lot of time with it, but everything else is doing well too.
Well, you have to show me how to do that whole consulting thing and get paid for it, because I see you do it all the time, but I've never gotten paid for it. So you have to show me. And Laura, so what have you been up to?
Oh, the busyness is off the charts, just between oh gosh, booking things, managing sessions and clients and family and events and trips, and without a team or any like secretary or assistant, it's just like my brain's like, what?
Wouldn't it be
But
so much?
So I'm like a multi-dimensionally tasking mess.
Yeah,
It's
a
all
lot.
working out and falling into place, but I'm doing good.
I think a lot of people have the misconception that just because we have a webcam and a microphone and we're seen online, we've got, camp of people that are like booking us and doing stuff.
Right?
Some there's a couple people that have that, but most of us don't.
I have a group with multiple personalities, so
and then see that helps schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Yes,
we had to be
you have to be able to be.
We do it. We do it all.
Isn't the proper term a Renaissance man in a sense? Isn't that right, Brooks? A Renaissance man,
in the
someone
Renaissance
that's
it was. I
skilled
don't know
in
what you call them today. There are not many of us out there.
multitaskers,
There are.
but there isn't. So, I feel really, really like it's dangerous that I have you both on my show, especially at once.
Yes.
This is like, wow.
We are the weapon. We are the weapon.
Just like, boom, like here we are. It's just like, really? I'm here with Doc and Brooks all at the same time. Wow.
Yeah, and it's still, and we're still live. So that's good.
No, can you believe it? We're here. We're still here.
I know. Because
they're
you
like,
guys,
wait, Agnew and Eisenhower? No.
Yeah, the major platforms, there's like a server steaming up right now. Going overload. What do we do? They're all together. So how have you guys been dealing with those issues of getting the boots on some of these platforms?
Oh, well, that was a bit expensive. I mean, PayPal burned me for $3,000. Shopify got me for $1,500. Venmo got me, it wasn't too much, about $300. And then YouTube deleted 21 years of my content. Yeah, that hurt. But I had much of it cloned on Odyssey, and I do stream on 6 other live platforms. So honestly, I think YouTube's going out of business unless you want to, figure out how to change a door lock or, plant tulips or something. YouTube's a good informational channel, but they're gone. As far as information, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's, I had 2 accounts, like just a regular one just to kind of surf around, and another one for the company. And I've noticed that I go to my subscriber list and 90% of them are gone.
Yep.
Where I went to get all of my
22,000
information.
subscribers, and they evaporated in 60 seconds flat. Gone.
Yeah.
And guess what else left? All my advertisers and all their money that they were spending with YouTube. So that's why YouTube's going broke.
Wow. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I'm clicking on buttons. I should stop. I have to click. I got to get back to the comments. Here we go. Laura, you had issues as well, and then you've had to start up again.
Yeah.
How many times have you? I mean, it's like you live on the coast. It's like I'll rebuild.
Yeah, the fallout.
It's
it is like being hit with a hurricane or a tornado or a natural disaster. You have to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. Losing my original Facebook account, and then rebuilding it, and then losing the one that I rebuilt yet to rebuild it again. Instagram that's been impossible. Twitter, it's like, never mind. I won't even bother. I tried to rebuild that twice. YouTube, yeah, that crashed. And then the subscriber thing. Oh my gosh, that failed. Boom. And then Patreon, yeah, the dark to light. And then this other alternative platform I tried. Oh man, shitstorm. It has been nuts. And yeah, the amount of the confusion that everybody on the receiving end goes through is a lot. But yeah, it's a lot for us who are trying to like rebuild and manage. Like, okay, well, go over here to this platform now. Oh, here's a Rumble account and a BitChute, or like, and then it's Odyssey, and it's like
just spread
trying to
thin.
rebuild and grow and like put it out there, and then doing all the tech stuff, all the website stuff. Like, okay, now you can find me here. Like, because I've had to learn all the tech stuff. So
I know.
I'm never really a tech person. Now I'm like, okay, all right, because I'm amazed. I'm glad that I mastered Tetris and I played all these video games growing up, because I'm like, because I'm like,
you constantly have to
today,
move stuff
just
around.
like on my phone, just like even with this new pay portal, and all these different.
It was Galaga for me.
Like my papers. Am I yelling? Oh my god! It's like everything's so magnified. I'll shut up. But
well, it's. I mean, look, it's the three of us. Of course, can be a little magnified.
It's been so intense. Yeah, there's something wrong with my microphones here.
Well, you sound great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if I had. So I mean, I'll find. Yeah, help's coming.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
the good
you
news
look
is
great. You
that,
sound great. So
that real steel, real metal, real pure metal comes through the refiner's fire, and that's where we've been. We have not had it easy. We've been battling this for 20 years.
Yeah.
The guys that are coming on now have no clue of the trail that we blazed for them. And here's the good thing about it. For a long time, we have been looking for like a leader. And then we realized, we watched it happen with the mainstream media, what we call the mainstream media. They went from, I think, 56 major news outlets and information outlets to 9. They're down to 9. And these 9 people have their scripts that they shove out to all the news organizations, and they read the same exact words.
Regurgitate the exact same words, but it's just their inflections might be a little different. They might have an accent, and that's it. There's those videos where they show all the different news stations around the country reading the same Easter report, word for word.
The thing about us, the thing about the what we call the mainstream news, we're now the mainstream news, they're the fake stream news, is we're not centralized, we're decentralized, we're all sovereign, we're free, just the way Jefferson originally planned it. And what do? We hold their feet to the fire. They don't like it, but there's way more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, there is. Do you think that we need to stay separated and individual? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when we come together in conferences, it's great because that vibe, that energy is so powerful. But like, I was invited to Contact in the Desert, 20,000 people there. We packed the room so tight they couldn't close the doors. That's how many people wanted to hear this message.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours after that was over, banned for life, because the message was not the message that the leadership wanted.
That's their narrative.
And yeah, so we survived. I think they're going to survive too, because they're very entertaining and they have great production staffs. But we tell the truth, the raw, unadulterated, analyzed truth, and people want the truth.
Yeah, no, it has been stifling over the years to get this stuff out at times, and that's why I'm kind of I'm hopeful towards the Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble seems to be a pretty good platform. They haven't banned anybody yet. There's some rough stuff on there, but people don't watch it, and that's fine. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You don't like the channel, change it.
Right.
Raytheon, and there's all sorts of things.
Yeah, there's Rockfin, and Rockfin's coming up, and they're doing a good job. And there's kind of a
like too many apps, too many platforms, to the point where I'm just like, I'm just afraid of my phone. It's just like notification. I'm just like,
it does get to a point where it's overwhelming when you have more and more apps and
When
platforms.
people add you without asking you first, it's like I'm trying to do something because my phone's my office a lot of the time, like you guys, right? It's just like constant, like, every chat in Telegram, I'm like, okay, silent notification, or I have to leave the group. Even though I want to be a part of the group and stay in the group, I have to leave the group just so I can finish what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, focus.
But, it's like, what? It's like,
no, I actually had to put a post saying, look, folks, I just don't do groups because I just don't have time. If I had to do that, or if I had to watch every show of all my podcaster friends, I would never have a moment to breathe. So,
then Facebook,
boundaries and just knowing how to say no. But even though it's like, but I embrace it all, but I just can't have it constantly telling me when somebody has something to say. It's like,
yeah,
that's great, but I'm like on the phone over here, or I'm doing a session. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Face, the Book of Face does the same thing too. They're like, hey, you haven't made a post in the past 20 minutes. Maybe you should do something so that people think you're still alive. It's like, dude.
Even then, yeah, when I have a break, it's like, there's a lot to manage and balance, but working it and learning a lot, and block and delete when necessary. But then when you lose accounts, that's what's crazy. Then you get the text like, did you block me? Like, you're not friends anymore? Did I say something to offend you? I'm like, no, they took down my account. I didn't block you.
Yeah.
I only block like trolls and like horrific people. So then you got to manage the emotions of the people that think that you like sent them on their merry way. No, I have a new account. Then you have to like put out the message. It's like, join my Telegram. And then Telegram is getting completely...
Yeah, Telegram's off
with
the
all this
chain
kind
now.
of stuff. Like,
it just got trolled to death. But I mean, like in 2019, 2020 was looking so good. It was going to be more. I had 21 events, I think, booked for 2020. I did the first one on January 7th, and the rest of them evaporated like that. Yeah. That's, I think, why they did the lockdown in the first place, because we were getting our word out. And there were events everywhere. People were doing live events everywhere. Some of them had 30 people, some had 3,000 people, but they were doing live events everywhere. And then we went like 18 months, nothing. And I really feel sorry for the people that live on the circuit. They sell books, they sell sessions like Laura does. You don't get those live events, you don't get the clients. It's very hard to do. So they tried to starve us out, and they did starve a lot of us out.
Yep. And rebuilding, it's like being, you have to rebuild your whole world, the income, all the things that you're trying to invest in, I mean, and then when people, it's like, so subscriptions or any kind of donations, when the income just like drops because the platforms drop, it's like, it's so much to rebuild. So, those that might have a hard time wanting to support, $15 a month or whatever, subscription, you have to know that your donations and your support helps us to have these platforms and to build these visions like healing centers, retreat centers, platforms that are alternative, that we can share content censorship free. We need your freaking help, which is better than investing in a lot of the matrix stuff that we want to move away from. Like, we really, because nobody else is paying us, and it just comes back to you. It's so actually you're when you pay us, you're actually creating abundance for yourself, because we're only giving back, to provide resources of truth and information that's useful, and medicines and products, and
I try to tell people,
transform your life. So we have to like make this more of a good operational system, less drama and conflicts between people, and less complaining about like the fact that we might need support. It's like, it takes so much time and energy to run these platforms and to get content,
and they're not free.
Interviews. I can't just do free interviews, right?
Right.
Or, and some people are like, so please, just take a breath and step back and just see that if you can like help support us, we're supporting you. And and also we can help give people a voice that want to launch their mission,
right.
And I love to do interviews with clients and people that are like, well, I want to share this with the world. We're all here to like do this together and help each other. And to me, this is what the New Earth Rising is all about, is this is how we build community, is that we pull our resources together, we have each other's back, and we all realize that we're leaders in our own right. We all have a similar divine purpose, and we all just have to like help each other. The less drama and complaining about it, if we could push all that aside and get rid of those distractions and the energy drains, we got some good things to look forward to. And you guys have done a great job, in avoiding that. And I feel like I've as well. But when I see it, I have to stay clear of it. I want to heal it and help it. But like when I get yanked into it, I'm like, this has got to stop.
We're people too.
There's a lot of plants. There's a lot of infiltration to try and divide and conquer us. We can't sink down to that level.
Right. Go ahead, Brooks. Brooks, you were going to say
well,
something.
I was going to say, National Public Radio takes money out of your paycheck every single week. And have you ever seen their building? It is magnificent. It is world class. It is, believe me, anybody would die to be in heaven in that building. It's really, really nice. And you paid for it. So all we ask our audiences to do is, why don't you tax yourself? Just $2, $5, $6 a month. You will never miss it.
That's
but if
basically it.
100,000 of you do it a month, we can change the world.
Yeah. The things that can be done, because people just need to think that, look, with the resources that we have now, this is what we're able to do. But if we had more resources like the mainstream ones do, be able to have a real studio. Can you imagine if there was, a news outlet that was all about this stuff, about conspiracies and black ops and all, covering the stuff that even Newsmax won't touch, which I love Newsmax, but
you have some out there. You got Lyndon LaRoche, you got InfoWars, you got in fact, Alex Jones started out on the same network I did. And then he just had a different personality and he just went after it. He was an actor where we weren't. We were more real, and he just exploded and just took off. I don't know where he got his money, but he became the 800-pound gorilla. And now look at him. He's in civil court. They want $45 million out of him.
Yeah,
he could afford it, but that's not the point. The point is, it's just designed to take down a voice,
right?
And we laugh, and believe me, some of my colleagues laugh about it. And I say, don't you do that, because if they can take him out, they can take all of us out.
Exactly. And that's somebody that they didn't like Alex Jones, but they did stand up for
him.
Well, no. But I'm saying they're standing up for him because of what they're doing to him. Because they're like, if they can do it to him, then they can do it to me. So, I have to back him on his right to free speech. So,
and that's what happens. These platforms or these programs, we call them podcasts because of Apple iPod, but they're not really podcasts. They're more like video blogs. And, they get offensive. They get sexual. They get languages hard. If you don't like it, there are 100 other ones this very minute that you could turn to and watch.
Right.
But when you watch us, when you watch Laura, or you watch me, you watch you, or a dozen other hosts that very well, Brad Olson and Suzanne Ross and all, you leave so spiritually uplifted, so strong, that this is where you need to be.
Right. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. The distractions with all this like other stuff. It's not.
Well, that's good though.
The
all of it is good. All of it is good. It just
it is all good. People get to choose and decide where they want to put their attention and energy, and there's no judgment on it. But but at the same time, we want to step up to the plate and do all that we can to heal and transform and face our wounds and overcome our ancestral patterns and whatever programmings need to be deprogrammed, and wherever we fall prey to things that aren't really to our benefit. Because if we're going to bust down this matrix and take down the deep state, we don't want any energetic cords with it or anything that keeps us a host for the parasitic forces that are pushing buttons, creating the divide and conquer, and like the very thing that we want to take down, we don't want to be feeding. We have to see that they like put things in our place to create a lot of loosh and drama and strife and conflict.
And the forces that are in charge, they've
So
been
we have
there
to know,
for,
like, yeah, we don't want to
since the
be the
4th
very thing that
century.
we're trying to stop. Or
True.
And they're good at this.
I
They're
didn't
good
really
at
word
dividing.
that well because it's been one of those days, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. And like you were saying, they've manipulated us for centuries. Whoop! Did I do that? I know I tapped my keyboard, but did I just mute her? Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's
What?
yeah, there she is.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. They've been there since the 4th, since 310 AD. They know this game. They know how to feed disinformation at us. They know how to break down our structures. They know
the
how
whole
to make
psychological of it. Yeah.
Right. But now what's happened is many generations have gone by, and many of us have had many lifetimes, and we're now building wisdom. Our soul is so strong they
Old
cannot
souls.
bend us.
Yeah, because we're figuring, because I've been told that all my life. I'm an old soul. And I could agree to that because I feel like I'm an old soul, and I guess that's why I see through the bull.
I think I've been bald in every lifetime. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, we've gone through this time and time again. We're definitely ancient souls. We've been doing this for so long. This is a very profound window period where they want the new world order, and we know that there's organic ascension and a huge awakening. So we've been guardians of the true timeline, knowing what it is going to take, and they're doing everything with their psyops and psychological operations, particularly like heightened during the Second World War and the passage of all the different projects and programs, and after that. But the last 26,000 year cycles after the final cataclysms of Atlantis, it's been all about like these timelines and our ability to be the guardians of the truth and the organic ascension with every tactic under the sun to completely derail it and take us down a trajectory where we'll be further enslaved. It's just like, do you know what you're dealing with here, guys? You cannot have us. And we, of course, are going to always have victory and triumph over these dark forces. Actually, all the adversity and all the trolling and all the attacks only make us stronger. So it's like, whatever you try and do to stop us, we're just going to remember ourselves more.
We're above that.
Well, you don't want to be close to Laura if she has a weapon and you're trolling her, though.
Right.
No
she gets pretty excited.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I'm having this vision of like 20 years from now that the only way to get true history is through speakers such as yourselves, and I can see you like kind of like a Bill and Ted kind of thing. Everybody's in robes, and you hold the true history of of spirituality and love.
I think I was more like Alexander the Great, and Laura was more like Joan of Arc.
Oh yes, much better, much better than Bill and Ted. Absolutely. But I could just see you guys in matching robes and just being very wise and
I think we've known
with
each
kids
other
out by
many
a pond with beautiful backgrounds and everything. I see that. See, that made
Laura and I have
smile.
known each other for about, I was thinking the other day, it's been about 16 years.
Wow.
And the instant we met, every time we meet, everywhere we meet, it's like boom, just instant dual energy. It's so powerful, and it's that way with a lot of people in this genre.
I mean, this is we're all family. It's like we've known each other forever, all of us.
Yeah,
and it's just that's why it's so incredible to be in your company. It's such a breath of fresh air. It's like, hey, you guys,
hey, like anybody,
forever, and like here we are. We're still here, and we're still doing it, and it's always so wonderful.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do something again and get you guys up here.
We're gonna make a movie. We're gonna make a TV series.
Well, okay. I didn't say anything. Brooks, would you like to spill to the world what your plan is, or just I don't know. I mean, or do you want to tease, or what do you want to do?
Well, yeah. I mean,
you can tease on my show.
We started writing the Birth trilogy, which was done actually in 21 months. It was done, all 3 books, which is crazy amount of writing, and it took off. It developed its own kind of, I don't know, like a following. They called it the birth journey. And so Doc and I put our heads together about 2 years ago, and we said, let's turn this into film. So we started putting together a trailer, and we edited till we went through like 2 cases of Dr. Pepper, and we couldn't do it. It was too big of a project. So then we got the brain, let's not do it for movies, let's do it for TV. And it just clicked. So I started writing scripts. It was a late 2018. I was down in Texas, went to a few script writing contests and got the hang of it and won a couple of them with it. And now we just about 2.5 months ago hired an entertainment attorney. So we're working our way through the management scene and some contacts with Netflix and Hulu and Disney and Amazon. And we're going to get this TV series made. The pitch deck looks pretty good.
Thank you, man. I'll tell you, I have been like, so I'm glad it came from the horse's mouth.
It's a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun to write. I mean, I wrote so much my hands were aching. It was like I had a break in between consulting jobs, and I just stayed at it. And we just
and while you're doing that, and that's when I was knocking out my script for Fly. Because
the rise of Jet Parker.
I might as well figure out how to do this if we're gonna do this together. And yeah, man, so much just in the past couple of years that we've all been through and done. And I was gonna go back and pull a bunch of clips from shows and like do a little montage.
Nah.
That's a lot of shows to go through. So hopefully people will just go back and watch them if they want. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, Brooks.
Doc and I kind of naturally just formed a small little company about 2 years ago to do his project, which is The Rise of Jet Parker. It's a trilogy of movies about acrobatic skydiving. It's very, very cool scripts. Very cool. Just made for gen or for millennials, actually.
Yeah, I mean, for all ages, it's a family film, and it's the first one of its kind. So I'm pretty excited about it. But of course, you were talking about 2019, 2020. That's when I went.
And the personalities in it, the skydivers themselves, they're so exciting. They're like natural actors and actresses, and they're athletic and they're beautiful, and it's just exactly what movies need. And then he went to that. Where was it? Australia that you went?
No, that would have been it was Imperia Bravo, Spain.
Yeah,
that's 3 hours up the coast by train from Barcelona. Never been over that side of the pond. Always stayed to the Caribbean and South America and whatnot, a little up in Canada, but never went over. And I had gotten a hold of 3-time world champion Leonid Volkov from St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you want to know what this is, a horrible impersonation. So I'm going to stop right there. But he says, if you want to know, because I don't want to see in that and go, do I sound like that? And I didn't realize how big he was, because he picked up a Skype video call at 4 a.m. and was like, yes, let's talk. And we started chatting. And he says, if you want to do it and really get to know these people, come to the Wind Games in Spain.
The Wind Games. Doesn't that sound cool?
It's like the Olympics of indoor skydiving. And it was so crazy because I wrote the script on a whim because I came across Nia Peebles at a Hollywood movie party. And
that's right. I remember.
Yeah.
And they said, well, give us your pitch. And you went, okay. And boom.
And I just started making this movie up right there on the spot. And I've got dude, what's his name? The guy that used to direct Love Boat, Magnum PI, and all the shows, Alan Levy.
Yeah.
And then I've got the gentleman that's putting on the event, and I was walking with him, and we stopped, and I look, and right here in the corner of the kitchen, what was that?
You're talking about wind and stuff, the origin of the Wind Warriors.
Oh wow!
We can read it maybe at the end, or It's just amazing. It's just what you guys are talking about. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, it's just energetic and it's beautiful and it's exciting and it has tons of action, and the you're on the right path when these little synergies happen. And I don't know if you've ever been to these little Hollywood parties. They're kind of weird, actually, but you're like standing in the kitchen with a Perrier or a wine or something like that, and this conversation strikes up. So, what are you doing? Oh, I'm working on Rise of Jet Parker. Oh, really? Well, tell me about it. And you go like, what? I mean, I'm not ready in your mind, but your mouth says, oh yeah. And here he comes out with this story.
That
and
was
they liked it.
And it was so crazy because I didn't even have a name for it or a character's name. I had just seen a YouTube video of a competition team that there was 4 of them in the tube, and they're just doing this interweaving, and I was just like, this is freaking amazing. And then a couple hours later, I'm at this Hollywood party, and Nia Peoples looks at me and she goes, so what do you do? And I'm at a producer director party.
Fame? Nia Peoples from Fame?
Yeah, and she was she in Fame? I know she was on Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, Nia Peoples.
Yeah.
And
just there in front of him. And she was more beautiful in person, let me tell you.
Oh my God. So that's how I was starstruck. Because hold on. I'm going to show you the image real quick. Here we go. I'm going to pull this up and then I'm going to share it. Wait, pause. Let's do that stupid story thing. Pause. All right, let me show you. So this is the moment. This is moments after Fly was made.
Flew.
Yeah. So that little corner right there in the kitchen by the counter is where she was standing. And I couldn't look at her. She was so beautiful. And I kept staring at L.L.C. and then the gentleman that put on the event. And she kind of was a little annoyed after 30 seconds. She goes, hi, I'm Nia Peoples, and you are? I was like, yeah, Doc, I'm Doc Skinner. She goes, oh, what do you do? I was like, it was a producer-director party. So I was like, I'm a producer-director. And she goes, oh, great. What are you working on? And without even thinking, I spoke faster than thought. I said, oh, I got this great project. You would probably be great for it. And she was like, really? What is it? I was like, I didn't expect to go that far. And I said, have you ever wanted to fly? And she goes, really? Fly? Let's see. And then I just started going into this pitch. And I am literally just improvising this story. And everybody's listening intently. And then Alan Levy's like, that's great, awesome American entertainment. You need to make this film, Doc. And I'm like going, oh my God, really? Oh, shit. So I had to come home and I had to try to learn as much as I could about the sport. And then made a couple contacts and got a hold of Leonid and a few others. And I wrote the script, and actually I wrote it 2 or 3 times because after coming back from Spain, I realized I had some misconceptions. It just blew up. I had guys that the Red Bull wingsuit team. They wanted to be in part 2 because it's a trilogy. I've got
Jetman.
Yeah, Jetman Dubai. Oh God, his name. It's like.
He's still out there. He's still doing.
No, he is. He is. They're improving on stuff. As a matter of fact, Mercedes, I think, has designed a jetpack that goes on the chest, and so you drop with your wingsuit, and you fly, and once you get down to a certain altitude, you turn this thing on, and you shoot back up for a round 2. So I was thinking about incorporating that, but with some of this extra time I'm going to have, I'm going to be working and knocking out part 2 and 3. That way, when we present, trilogy. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, the hardest thing to do in movies, well, 2 hard things. One is to get investment money, and the other is to get that magic lunch. So I don't have to worry about the investment money, but I do have to worry about the magic lunch. So that's what we've been trying to go for the last 2.5 months. Because as you know, if you walk out your door and you say, computer, pull up all the screenwriters, there'll be a line 25,000 long, and you're in the last of that row. You have to elbow 25,000 other screenwriters out of the way to get to the lunch in this lifetime. And that's the skill. That's what you have to do.
Yeah. It's a process. It's just not instantaneous.
Nope.
The Cousins brothers are here. Welcome, guys. And Paula's here. We just saw her.
Yeah, there you go. The Rise of Jet Parker. Blake knows.
Yep. And dark hours here as well. I mean, all you guys, I was thinking just have a bunch of podcasters tomorrow night, maybe do a 3-hour show. That way everybody has a little bit of time. Come on board. So let's see. Yeah, dark hour. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. So yeah, I wasn't coming in with no topic ideas, just kind of want to be with my friends, hang out. Oh, can't hear you.
Well, you
Oh, I
want
know
to
what
talk
you
about
mean.
news, or you want to talk about
Well,
world events?
let's,
What do you want to talk about?
well, yeah, we could do that because I was going to actually try to get Michael Loftus, who's the comedic commentator on
Mhm.
Fox. He's a old friend of mine, and he's been on a couple times. So I was going to try to have him on with you guys tonight because he does political comedy. That might be fun. And actually,
It is a comedy.
yeah, and I'm actually in talks with Dr. J from Dr. J Radio Live. He's wanting to do some political podcast kind of thing on Rumble. So we'll see what goes on with that. And then I got people wanting me to do intros for their shows and stuff. So I'm not going to be gone. I'm just probably change of job or something. I don't know. But yeah, I got these other projects, with you guys and things, and oh man, so much. But let's see. I have been neglecting my chat room, so I apologize, guys. But you mostly are talking to yourselves. Offworld Adam is here. Welcome aboard. And Brad was on my list for tomorrow or Thursday. I was gonna see if Brad, I'm talking to you. Actually, you know what? Hold on.
Everybody's here.
Let's do this.
That's
Let's
right.
do
Three
this.
amigos.
Let me
Wow.
let me see. Okay, everybody, this is for Brad. This is for Brad Olson. So no one else click on this.
The great
okay?
intrepid explorer.
Brad, if you have a camera, click on this link that I just put in there, and you can come jump on for a bit. Love to have you, because I was going to try to get you on for tomorrow or Thursday. Because it's my last week, bro. So no, you don't have a choice. Get on here. Click on that link. So yeah, let's talk about what's going on in the craziness of the world. I had the honor of Dr. Jonathan Reed on with Dr. J last night, and talking about how there's just so much going on. It isn't just one doomsday kind of event that's coming down the pipeline. It's several. One thinking my speculation will help lead into the cause of World War III is, of course, this pipeline issue where it exploded, a week after a certain world leader says, well, we'll take care of that if we have to. So we have this pipeline thing going on over out of Russia going into Germany. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's going into Germany. And instead it's now just filling the Baltic Sea. Have you heard anything? Are they able to fix this, stop it, cap the leak, or is it still free flowing?
The leak's already capped. All that's happening now is the gas that was in the pipe is leaking into the water. So that's going to stop this weekend.
Okay.
And then they're going to go down and look for the shrapnel for what actually caused it. But everybody already knows it was the CIA. So it doesn't really matter. Right now, there is a hunt for Red October going on. They're looking for the sub that launched the divers that set the charges that blew it up. And they're getting there. They've got it corralled, and they're going to find it, and it's not going to be pretty when they do. But that's not the big thing, because it really doesn't matter who blew it up. It's why they blew it up that's important. What Davos and I call them the global syndicate. You've heard me describe them many times if you've heard me speak.
Yes.
The global syndicate wants to break the colonial power of the West. The West includes Europe and the United States. So you're thinking, wait a minute, isn't Davos, in Europe? Isn't Brussels in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but they predate Europe. They go back to the 4th century, like 310 AD. That's how far back they go. They want to rule the world, but they don't want the West. They don't want liberty and freedom to exist on the planet. So they're doing kind of a sum of all fears thing, false flag, trying to get us to fight each other. And everybody that talks about World War III is playing right into their hands.
Yeah.
All we have to do is just back away from that and stop the money from pouring into Ukraine and bring this to an end. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people think that Putin invaded those 4 provinces there, plus Crimea. He didn't. They were part of Russia since the year 1760. They were taken away from Russia in 1991, or from the Soviet Union, but they've always been part of Russia. They're Russian people, and they've been having their asses kicked for the last almost 9 years by a force that overthrew Ukraine and attempted to assassinate its president in 2014. And that force was led by the death angel herself, Victoria Nuland, and John McCain. Most people don't know this. We watched it live. We reported on it. So now all that's exposed. And once these 4 provinces are carved off, because they already elected, and believe me, there were 134 international monitors there, the elections were flawless. No corruption, no cheating like you get in our elections, over and done in one day. 90%, 93% of the people that voted to be returned to Russia and get out of Ukraine, because they've been being shelled and bombed and sniped and had their water cut off and everything for 8 years. And of course, the first thing that happens is these mercenaries go in and try to take the property back. Well, there's no Russian troops there because they didn't occupy it. There's no need to. There's no need to hold it. They're already Russian people. So now those forces are isolated. It's starting to get cold, and they're not going to survive. All those mercenaries are going to evaporate. They're going to be room temperature by the end of the month. The day to watch for is October 8th.
And why is that?
Because it's the anniversary. Last October 8th, we had a big event, and the October 8th before that, we had a big event. And these people they're really big on synchronicities. October 8th is when we need to be very aware, and we need to stop whatever it is that they're going to try to do, because they're going to try to get a war going. Even if it is minor nuclear, it's not going to turn into a global nuclear war. And I'm not really worried about it. Trust me, I'm a nuclear chemist. We've already blown up almost 2,700 nuclear bombs on this planet.
And we're still here. Yep.
So it's not what you think it is. This is a game of Go. You ever play Go, where you have the white chips and the black chips that are stones, and you try to control the other or surround them to where they can't move? That's what we're doing right now. We're just playing Go. We're just playing a game. And the interesting thing is that the players that we see on TV all the time, they're not even the players. They're just actors. Joe Biden is just virtual. He's not the president. He's not. I mean, he's
you know what it makes me think of? But the movie Dave.
Yeah.
About the president they brought in and the other guy look-alike to just play the president, sir.
Well, it could be a look-alike. I don't think it is, because you never let the double speak. You just don't let the double speak. He walks between airplanes or walks out of the SUV or golfs or something, but you never let him speak. So that really is Joe Biden. But he ain't there. He doesn't know where he is or what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's signing. He doesn't write that stuff. It's all written by the global syndicate.
On those little cue cards that they've caught on camera. That literally tells them, stop here, look left, do this.
And every time he opens his mouth and says something, they come right back on and go, no, that's not exactly right, Joe. No, it's something else. Go to the bathroom, and we'll take care of it from here.
Yeah, crazy. Whoop, can't hear you, Laura.
You're muted, Laura.
You're muted.
Just the Halloween costumes. I saw this. Somebody posted this little girl with get your stinking something off me, stop sniffing me, with like
the Joe Biden head on her shoulder.
Oh yes. Oh my God. That's
this is our president.
Yes.
If this isn't the craziest comedy, to me, it's just, the awakening. It's like, you get the joke yet, you guys? This is not something to be investing your mental bodies
it's allowing not something to fight a war over. Okay,
yeah,
these pedophiles.
Like, at least there's hilarity to it, but it's still like sickeningly disturbing because of what's happening in the depravity of the sickness of it all. But I just see this planet as an organism that is like detoxing and this exorcism that's happening where the parasites and all the demonic energies are just being cleansed from the planet. But anybody who has an attachment to it, well, in their own personal life, they're going to still have that connection and they'll still be on that timeline. But the minute they cut that cord and realize that that's something to just be rid of, what is actually revealing itself is the most beautiful and grand, amazing truth of what our reality and divine existence is, of who we truly are and what is truly real. And so it's funny because sometimes, it's just, you just can't even believe how much of a hold these characters have had over everybody. And it's devastating and it's sick and it's crazy. But at the same time, the hilarity of it all, because of the ridiculousness, is something to laugh at. But what's not to laugh at is like, what it's doing to, future generations, our children, and how they've used children and the innocence. And that's where the warrior in all of us like steps in and says, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And we're turning it all around. So
you have to wonder where the warriors are, though, because they're not seeming to step up to the plate.
At least, no, I mean, look at the team of all of us. It's enough because it is activating a lot of star seeds that just don't even realize what their mission is and their soul calling. They're going to switch on. I see this big ripple effect happening, and they're going to get out of the trance. They're going to move out of that trance. And once a person breaks the energetic cord and deprograms and gets rid of all that, they will be able to neutralize and alchemize the bioweapons and everything that has gotten into their system. All that AI, they'll be able to return to themselves the minute they snap out of it.
Yeah. Well, I was, go ahead.
I was going to answer the person in the chat room that said a false flag with a nuclear weapon can't happen. You can do it with other things, but you can't do it with a nuclear weapon because that has a signature. We know exactly what reactor it came from. The pile, the radioactive material in that bomb has a signature. That's how, like in Sum of All Fears, when it blew up, they knew right where that came from. It was from us through an Israeli bomb. You can't do a false flag with a radioactive.
Is that the recipe? Device. The recipe for that kind of
device? It's impossible to have two identical nuclides because you put it into a centrifuge and you bombard it with neutrons. You're basically sticking neutrons to it and making it, heavy. And it's impossible to get two samples with the same amount of neutrons. And that is absolutely irrefutable.
They'll take a sample of that before they create the device. That way they have like a thumbprint of it. That's I never knew that. I always learn something new with you. I love it. I just want to say Paula's in here, as well as Christopher LaPrath and Brad Olson. I've posted the link in the chat if you guys want to pop in and say hi, because it's always good to have the fam around. So just so you know, I do want to extend that invitation. So yeah, that is kind of worrisome. But it's good to know that
I don't think a nuclear event would scare the whole world. It might be regional, but it's not going to scare the whole world. I think the scare event, and I think Laura will agree with me, it's financial. The scare event's going to be financial because it will affect everybody at the same time.
Right.
Igniting the survival in people makes them easy to control because of the panic. But that's the breakthrough, I think, for people.
Yep.
To realize that you're abundant without any of the money thing, because when Mother Earth and
we're the value.
Yeah, when people understand that abundance has nothing to do with any of that, and that whole matrix system that they have formed a dependency on, if people can just get out of that survival and the fear of death and all this attack that they are trying to pull us into, and just kind of release ourselves from it, then this greater abundance will start to happen that will be so regenerative and replenishing. Whoa, I don't need that paycheck anymore. Oh, I don't need to answer to this outer thing.
A new sense of freedom.
That I can, actually put food on my table. Oh my gosh, I can actually pick fruit off the tree and plant a seed, or pull resources together in my local community and be able to build the new earth by just realizing that the resources within, and Mother Earth is the most abundant provider. And that is the true timeline. All of this other stuff is inverted and it's vampiric and it's crap.
Well, it's because we've been taken out of nature and put
thousands
into
of years,
cities.
yeah, and amnesia.
Yeah.
People are born with amnesia. They totally forget, and they have literally bonded with a false system that they think looks after them or cares about them, when it's quite the opposite.
It makes me think of a parent with a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the city, when we're all in the cities, they're basically, tiny boxes on a hillside, little boxes for everybody, and they're there. And I think subconsciously, people that live in these cities, they realize this is prison. But to get us distracted, they're always showing us new shiny toys. So we forget, oh, it's okay. It's not so bad. I got all my little toys. I can sit and play, even though I'm in a big box, whereas in nature, like you are, Laura, you can go outside and you see what God has put here, not what man has put here. And it turned, places into concrete jungles, which is why I left the city. I had to get out. I needed fresh air, trees,
yeah, but you bring
seasons.
But your energy in the city, though, like, can transform the city to be more just like integrated with nature, like so the advanced civilizations can, so I mean, I don't mean to like just jump in, but there's a reason you're there, because you're transforming it too. But keep going though.
Yeah, no, that's all I'm saying is I believe that's part of, was it social engineering, Brooks? Where they're dumbing down, not dumbing down, but they're literally killing small towns off the highways by getting rid of exit ramps and stuff, and then they're forcing people to move into the cities.
Yeah,
and that's called social engineering. Is that the right term?
That's what little Peter Buttcrack calls it. He says that highways can be racist because you build a highway and then everybody bypasses the community that once thrived off of that 2-lane road that came through there.
Right.
So yeah, I can see that, and we see that happening in Charlotte too, because we're a pretty good sized metro. We're the 9th largest metro in the country, and we built bypasses around the city so people can now drive at 90 miles an hour around the city instead of clogging up all the streets like Freedom Drive. But all the businesses on the Freedom Drive then went out of business, and you can drive down Freedom Drive and it's 50% vacant because nobody stops anymore.
Yeah.
And the same thing's happening to downtown areas. You have investors moving in. They're buying up the old buildings, the old shoe stores and hardware stores, turning them into condos. Condos are going for $2,000 a month. The people that used to live there can't afford to live there anymore, so they're pushed out. So now you've created this social upheaval in your metro, and it isn't what it used to be. Of course, they think it's progress. That's what they call progress.
Yeah, it's basically the elimination of a group of people for yuppies, people that want to live in fancy boxes. I've seen and heard of that happening all around the country, where people that have been born, raised in a town, they get pushed out because, we want to put a golf course resort out here, or an expensive gated community or whatnot. It's sad, but it's what's going on. If you guys have any questions for my guests tonight, in the chat room, just put @Doc and then your question, and I'll pull it up, because I know a lot of you are just chit chatting with each other, which is awesome. Keep that community going. Here's a good one. Donna says, is there any big predictions you sense will occur before 2023? I'm guessing that would go towards Laura.
Predictions?
Yeah.
For 2023.
I mean, it's actually for both of you, but I'm just figuring.
For 2023. Yeah, well, I'm not much for predictions, but at the same time, I appreciate these kind of questions. What one can predict is what one can check in with the self. What are your intentions? What seeds have you planted during this time? Before winter hits, before spring, before the flowers are going to bloom. Where are your thought forms and dreams and visions? Are you aligned with them? Are you taking action in your life in order to see them, come to fruition. I mean, we really have to win the war within. We have to do this on a very micro level to affect the macro. And what I predict is that if people can harness these energies and really work the energy in their own personal world, work on themselves, work on their relationships, work on, the things that will really sustain you in your own personal life, in your home, then home and, to the extended community, to, the state that you live in, to then the country, to then, what's global and the outreach to, everything on the planet and the whole collective. When we start here, when we start with the self, it's going to reverberate and ripple out to all these other things. And so what I predict is that when a person can, take it upon themselves to do what is necessary to align with their creative imagination and all the visions and dreams that they want to bring forward, and have boundaries to all the psyops and all the false narratives and all the divide and conquer tactics that can infect the creative imagination, the creative channel, to the point where we begin to be like sucked into it. If we can do that maintenance work, that energy work to avoid that, then I predict that we're going to see a spring, like by the time February or March hits, of a massive blossoming of like so many breakthroughs and huge things, of everything coming together, and like just everything just like being incredible. And where this other stuff, sort of like phantom earth, or like this mitosis of it, just falling away. And anybody who has submitted to it and buys into it, it might fall with it. Doesn't mean that they're doomed, because I see this bifurcation of timelines, that there's a bridge. There's going to be a lot of spirit guides and forces that are going to help those that, are still going to like follow the narrative, the monkeypox and all the
to the last second.
Yeah. And like the next wave of like whatever insanity, or like what we should fear, what bomb's going to come, what nuclear threat, what, tactic of like the greater like World War III, New World Order kind of agenda. I mean, whatever, or whatever choices people have made, there's a bridge between the two, where there's so many that are going to continue to transition over to the organic ascension timeline, because that is the only real thing. Everything else is based in manipulation and siphoning, harvesting, and parasiticness. That, what I predict is that unbelievable things are going to happen. Bifurcation is happening, but every soul, needs to determine for themselves. What do you predict for yourself? What are you co-creating? What are you
what future do you see individually?
Because you are creating your own reality, and at this you got to choose and make the right choices in every moment to determine what timeline you're on. So I predict that there's going to be a lot more people that are going to let go of that old system that's dying,
material
go through the initiation of this rebirth and alchemical transformation as we move through the Ophiuchus season, and we're going from Libra to Scorpio to Ophiuchus, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, and as spring emerges and this blooming happens, that most humans will be done with the ridiculousness, and in that we will be able to rescue, a lot of compromised, children, the human trafficking and the SRA, and all the evils that are the deep state cabal will be resolved, because the human has found the divine human and has broken down the negative ego constructs, and how it has not realized it's been enabling the very thing it wants to stop. So we win the war within. It's a war on consciousness. And I predict that people are going to understand that, like, if you can do that within yourself, then you're participating in being a guardian and steward for the organic ascension timeline. And you'll then be initiated into being an activator of other, people that have, missions. And we'll just like pull our children out of this madness, and not rely on the school systems, the medical industry, politics, and government, and all that crap. And we'll utilize all the skills and talents that we've honed and learned in that system, but we'll bring it to where it doesn't have that underbelly of corruption and depravity and crimes against humanity. And we'll say goodbye to all that. What I predict is that we will be celebrating a lot in 2023.
Sounds like good. What
about you? In 2023, but it's up to the individual to decide which timeline you want to be on. But like there will still be assistance as the bifurcation happens, but get on board, folks. There's no reason to be sucked into the madness. It's time to just like reclaim the divine inheritance and remember who you truly are and what this is all about, because
Very
all these
powerful words.
adversities are really here to remind us and wake us up. Every weapon can be a tool for our awakening. The most god-awful things, let it be a reminder that we don't have to take it anymore. Let it push you into the direction of reclaiming your true treasures so you can activate your true divine potential and all your DNA that has been dormant, and all the chakras that need to be activated, blah, 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 blah. Because we're multidimensional, and so is the planet.
Sweet. What about you, Brooks?
Well, she's on to something, because it does all begin with consciousness. That is the downward causational force. And the dark side knows this because they use our consciousness to make their future manifest.
Exactly.
They put it out through the press. They put it out in schools. They put it out in music. They put it out by what they finance with their grants and all that. And they get us thinking about their agenda. Well, the problem with that is that it's all artificial. Our consciousness is very organic and very real. What it lacks is resonance. Resonance is where the mustard seed strikes the mountain at exactly the right moment over and over and over again. It becomes a huge amount of power because it's additive. That's what's happening there. That's the bifurcation that Laura's talking about. And it's going to happen in 4 areas. Watch it happen. There are 4 pillars to the global syndicate. It's been this way for almost 2,000 years. Military. The other is what I call the global media empire, which is all the press and all the schools and all the litigation and everything that happens on your local level. The other is what I call the political arm, which we're watching happen in Washington, D.C., which is a big fat joke. And believe me, 35 days from now, that's going to change like a boil being popped. Then the financial one, and we're already seeing that happen as well. Now, they can't maintain the global syndicate without us. They can't do it without us because it's artificial. They need our consciousness to keep it alive and keep it going.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is the system is going to break down. Italy, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and a lot of states in the United States, and even a schism inside our own military. They're stopping their resonance on it. And so the energy that's keeping NATO alive and the Pan-European Army and all this World War III talk, it's dying down. It's dying down. And we're going to watch over the next 35 days this wave of optimism. We're about ready to step into 1,000 years of golden prosperity.
Okay.
And it says in the scriptures that in the last days, the light shall shine, but the darkness shall not comprehend it. It won't see it. That's because it won't resonate with it. 2 different realities are going to emerge.
Is that the separation of the 2 planets, like you're saying, birth?
Exactly. Higher vibrational, lower vibrational. And the higher vibrational one, we see full of love and opportunity and life and beauty and peace and connection with the earth. The other side, they see misery and what they call
pain and anguish. And
anybody that can name child sacrifice, women's health care, they got something wrong. That's the dark side.
Yeah. So, golly, it's okay. You saying that, I'm going to ask you guys this question. With certain people getting a crown on their head, it has been said that individual is the anti.
Yeah.
And I had that show last Monday with Tim Cohen. You remember Tim?
Sure.
First disclosure. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And we talked about that. And it was probably the first show that where I had a guest almost bring me to tears. Because I already knew.
He's a little eschatological that way. He doesn't bend at all. He thinks prophecy is set in stone.
Right.
And I say, and I think Laura agrees with me, prophecy is a conditional prediction. That's where
Yes.
God says, this is going to happen if you keep doing that.
Right.
If you stop
Well,
doing it, it won't happen.
it
It's still God's word.
but it's still going to happen because it's in the book. I mean, people have read it, know that.
But it's not a prediction. It's a prophecy. That is a conditional prediction. It's designed. The reason God gives you the future like that is so you will change, not so you will walk into it.
Right. But don't the deep state use that book, for example, as a script for
a cudgel?
Ooh, that's a sexy word, cudgel. I've never heard that word before.
It's a giant mallet designed to break the femur bone when you're on the cross to make you suffocate.
Oh, that's sexy. No. Sorry. God,
the Romans were very good at it.
I'm not that bright, everybody. Well, yeah.
You don't realize how dark these people are. You know, Jesus died on the cross, but so did about 200,000 other people. It was a weapon of terror and death to intimidate pilgrims when they came to Jerusalem. This is what's going to happen to you if you steal in the marketplace.
Or not get the mark, right? I mean, do you think they're going to crucify us or
no? I think they won't let us buy, sell, or trade, and we're going to say, "So what? I'll go down to Laura's and buy beans."
Right. And that's there's a part of me that is looking forward to it, even though it's going to have horrific elements to it all.
Fear. No fear.
And I think that's what it is. I'd say a little bit of no fear that, like the Postman with Kevin Costner, the way villages were set up in the woods and stuff. I felt a kinship when I watched that very long ass movie. That I was like, I have a connection with this. Like I could be at home there in that situation, not having electricity, living off the land and being in a community.
Yeah, but you remember the corruption inside that community. They had everybody locked down, and it was actually the postman that brought them hope.
Well, right. When he brought the first thing of mail in years, and it was because they had they called the 8, which is the army led by that one gentleman, and I can see that happening. Everything, and I think that's why it resonated with me, that film, because I was like, this is how it can happen. So it was kind of a warning, like you were saying. It's a warning of what will happen if we keep going the way we're going.
You remember in the movie, the Star Wars movie, the Clone Wars? You remember when the one I can't remember the race, but he said, "Who will pledge your medal with me?" And nobody said a word. But then the guy that the star of the show there, Carter, when he raised his sword and said, "Who will pledge your medal with me?" Everybody said, yeah. That's resonance. That's what we're talking about. When they stand and say, "Who will pledge your medal with me? Let's go have World War III," we're all going to go, not really. Yeah. And if Laura stands up and says, "Hey, let's go down to the lake and sing a song," everybody, we're ready to go.
They resonate with it. No, there you go. That makes perfect sense.
And that's happening inside our military. I've been in the Pentagon several times. It's like a city. There's like any given time, there's like 4,000 people in there, but I think there's like 8,000 people that actually work in that building, or maybe more. There's a war going on, just like I described in Charm of Favor, going on inside that building. There are people that are saying, y'all are nuts. Blowing up this pipeline was the stupidest thing ever, and we're not having any part of it. There's a big split going on.
Yeah. Do you think these big agencies are going to stick around for long? Because people are talking about
because somebody's got to save the country, and the armed services. I'm a former Air Force veteran. Air Force is gone. It's hopeless. Never gonna. That's why Space Force exists, because the Air Force is effed. But the Marines are straight up. The Marines are going to step in, and they're going to stop this from happening.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Hey, got a question from Dave Dennis down in Australia for you guys. This is a question for Laura Brooks. Do you agree our solar system is now in a 5D region of the galaxy, and our star brothers and sisters are regulating the transition to make the transition smoother? Who wants to take that first?
You go first, Laura.
Yes, I mean, well, when we look at the 5D, we're looking at, gosh, well,
Was that
I
a heavy
look at
question?
like, yeah, I know. It's like, oh gosh, where do I begin? Downloads. Um, yeah,
Yeah, he can get
talking about
deep.
this for a long time, but yeah, no, yeah, the 5D energy, um, fifth dimensional. I mean, to me, the fifth element, the ether, the fifth chakra, speaking truth, right? Um, our words create reality. We are reconnecting with the Tara system, which is the 5D Earth, where Tiamat exploded, and
Is
there's
that
so
the
much
one
about
between
that,
us and Mars?
and just the how that impacted like human DNA,
Hmm.
um, and all the stuff. I could just go so far into it all that I'm trying to like summarize it. And of course, we all have our own ways of defining this or experiencing it. So it's not like anybody has like the absolute answers or truth. So, you know, just kind of take what resonates and leave the rest. But so the 5D thing to me is when you reclaim your truth and your sovereignty, your words will create your reality. And when you are able to be sovereign and strong in that, you are rebuilding the template of the tree of life. And all these things start to begin to switch on. So when you communicate, you're communicating from the higher dimensions, you're communicating truth. And those words that you speak can uplift and heal and inspire and transform and alchemize all the toxicity, all the darkness, all the toxins, all the contaminations, all the dark weapons, all the bioweapons, and remove all of that so
Do
that we
you
can restore like the true light and dark. You know, the like the dark being like the mother womb, the mother womb that will, you know, take the seeds of the higher aspects of ourselves to, you know, grow things that we want to see. So 5D to me is, are we being responsible with our words? Are we aligned? Are we
Mhm.
rebuilding this DNA template? Because the 7 root races and the 5 root races, 5 cloister races, excuse me, 7 plus 5 is 12, and how that relates to the planetary grid network. We're all like the unity consciousness thing is that we're all activating each other to rebuild this template to you know, all of a sudden be able to move into an expression and an embodiment that is 5D. So that to me is the 5D tower, that the human understands that you are the 5D tower, that your voice is creating the alchemy, and that knocks out the 5G, right? So the dark
Mhm.
technologies and the inverted systems collapse and get removed because we're in the 5D, because we're repairing all this stuff that has had exploded and created like separation. So the 7 root races and the 5 cloister races, which are the star seeds, are rebuilding with the planetary grid network and the stargates to rebuild the multidimensional cosmos and the tree of life template that is encoded in our DNA. And so, yeah, there's so much more to say. I don't know.
You kind of wish you had something like the Q map to connect all this together, you know?
I know. It's just the whole deal is like we're rebuilding ourselves, and we all need each other to do it. We all have pieces to give to each other to switch these things on. And the divide and conquer tactics and all these dark weaponry tactics is to make it so we're all pit against each other, and we
Right.
actually don't embrace the diversity. We allow our differences to make us want to fight or be in battle or be
Yeah,
at war,
it's
when really
ego
we're
and
just
control.
integrating and harmonizing aspects of ourself into wholeness again and balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me ask you
I've just
this.
talked so much today that like my throat chakras is like exhausted.
Well, words being a very powerful thing. Do you think that subconsciously, kind of like a newborn animal, the minute they come out, they know immediately go to the nipple, you know, or go to the mother? You know, there's that nature's
Instinct.
instinct, right? Do you think that there might be the possibility that our vocal range and our use of our voice with words is a subconscious way of us putting things out there, even though we may not even realize we're doing it, let's say subconscious, but our mind knows the frequencies that are needed to open certain things, but we've been so dumbed down, told, oh, that's all, mystical, hoopoo, hoopoo, it's not real, it's magic's not real. And like imaginary friends and all that, we've learned it's not real. So we've turned those switches off. When others, they stay on and they can see spirits and talk to ghosts and whatnot. Our brain is an amazing organic machine, or computer, Wi-Fi on a cosmic level. Do you believe that words are powerful tools, and people in power, they know this, and that's why they word things the way they do, and they use legalese and politics purposes.
Mercury the magician, our words create reality, our thoughts. So that's why there's mind control and social engineering, because if they can own that part of us, then we're actually creating something we don't want, because they've convinced us that that's all we get. No, I don't think so. We can access something else and use that Mercury magician energy with our words, with our thoughts, with our intent to speak the reality we actually want. So if we can take responsibility with our thoughts and our words, we're the magicians that can change it all by choosing our words wisely.
Yeah, and there's a way
to speak, because we can kill each other and hurt each other with our words, or we can heal each other and inspire each other with our words.
You can hurt yourself with your words too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do it. I get corrected
like
all
a
the
weapon.
time.
Like we can literally kill people with words. It's like,
yeah.
Well,
it's like a pen is mightier than a sword, just by a certain statement or a stroke of some words.
Yeah.
It can,
look at
it
how
can cause war.
Like social media, it's like everybody's so offended, and literally it's all that Mercury energy. I
thought it was just called pansy energy. So many people have been pansy lately. It's like, God, pull up your bootstraps, and just everybody's so damn sensitive. So
I know, it's like
not everybody, but
it's like learn to laugh. It's like you're really just looking at yourself, just like dealing with your own triggers and insecurities. Stop making it political. It's like, we love you. Like, everybody just be yourselves. Let's all hug each other. Get over it.
That's the thing, though, Laura. I think we've had a whole generation, and that's life. That's for them. They need the drama. They need
I
the
know,
attention.
But the 80s were so I don't know what's happened.
It was the VCR.
It's the terrible thing, because the indoctrination that we are seeing in our school systems with the gender confusion, it's just so brutal, what they're doing to our kids. But they're gonna snap out of it. Everything's gonna be okay. But it's just.
Do you think it's gonna get back to small community, neighborhood schooling, homeschooling kind of thing?
Yeah, it has to.
They do it with daycare. Why not with school?
And you got to realize that's going to take some time.
There's always going to be that kid in the class that is just like,
always.
What? We were those kids in the class. I certainly was, just like, I don't think so. And you turn it all around, and you
I was a nerd.
Well, you just
I was too.
Class clown, hello. But no, where you're just like, you see through the bullshit, and you start to make things happen, because you're not just going to sit there and take it. So there's going to be enough kids and children born that are in these indoctrination camps called schools that will rise up. But we, as these elders and older people that never grow up, will support them and be like,
the ungrown up generation.
That's got to go, whatever that weirdness is. It's just like,
I see the question twofold there, and I'll answer them in order. He asked about 5D. When we did our experiments on, it's cross-disciplinary between physics and chemistry, but when we did our experiments, we discovered that the origin of the golden mean, we know the golden mean exists. We know that it is the slope of instantaneous change that allows energy to become matter. Stars do it all the time. We do it all the time. But we didn't know the origin of the golden mean. We just thought it was just one of those truisms that you're stuck with, like gravity on Earth. You know, I hate gravity. Gravity's holding us down.
It's always holding you down.
Yeah. What we discovered is we don't have an infinite number of dimensions, like with string theory. That string theory is dead. It's made a lot of PhDs, but it is not accepted anymore as a sound theory. What we did discover is we have an infinite number of universes, and that we are exchanging photons at the point of black holes between universes, which means we're exchanging information between universes. So that 5D, 5 dimensions, means that all sides are visible at the same time. Okay, we have 3 dimensions, which we understand, right? Like this mic stand is
length, height, width, yeah.
And then you got time, and that's 4. And then the 5th, though, is access to all the sides at the same time. That's a little hard for us 3-dimensional beings. Or
I was about to say, what does that look like?
It looks like a Picasso. You know, when you see the face of the Picasso, you see both eyes on the same side of the face at once. That's the 5th dimension. What it does, it gives you a perspective, and you got to have some training, because you can get very confused, and you can even turn it off by the confusion. And believe me, there are thousands of people out there that use this as word salad and are confusing a lot of people. 5D is just a point of awareness that our eyes cannot perceive, because we can only see one side of anything. If we look at sheep in a field, we can only for sure say that the side that we're looking at is shorn. The other side might not be. But with 5th dimension, you can see all the sides. Okay, that's what it means. You have more visibility. The second part is about ETs coming and getting involved.
Well, what about virtual reality? Wouldn't that be like a 5D situation?
Yes,
to where, like, when you
retrain the brain, you can
retrain
the brain to think in 5D. Now, there are trainers out there that will do it, but our 3-dimensional brains are not designed to do it. But our spirits are. And we have to realize, and that's what we do when we go out and lecture. We teach people, you are eternal beings, and you're having a mortal experience. Okay, the mortal experience is full of pain, and it's full of digestion, and it's full of mystery, because we can only see so far, you can only hear so much, and there's a whole lot more to the universe than what we can see and hear. A whole lot more. There's a lot going on around us that our bodies cannot perceive, but we have other chakras, we have other abilities to perceive. And where does that come from? It comes from us. And here's my story. 1,800 years ago, a star exploded and took out my world. Every living thing, in fact, that planet didn't exist anymore. It was all turned to energy, scattered across the Cygnus system. The spirits that were alive on that world were freed to go anywhere they wanted to go. And a lot of us came here. I was born here in 1955 into a mortal body, but I am not a mortal, okay? I am an ET in mortal form, and there are a lot of us here.
It's like an avatar.
Like an avatar. We are never quite here. That is to say, I haven't been mortal long enough to actually get the hang of being mortal. So I decided to reassert myself as the ET. I'm still the 7-foot tall, 4 jointed fingers, golden skin, blue-eyed being that I was on that world inside this body. And I just treat myself that way. I can see more, I can hear more, I can do more, and I'm not afraid of the mortal experience. I got killed in 2012 in a motorcycle wreck, and when the cop brought me back, the first thing out of my mouth was, that was so easy. That was the easiest thing in the world. There was no pain involved with it at all, the separation from this body. Now I'm kind of on borrowed time, and I've done a lot of stuff since 2012. Let me tell you, I wrote 4 or 5 books, 6 books since then. And we're doing more great things. I don't think I've aged much since 2012. I mean, just changed, physically changed. I don't call it a near-death experience. I call it maybe a second life, like almost a resurrection. I don't know how to explain it. But there are others of us here. And the problem is we're separated. all over this planet, and we're different in ages and even different races, but we know we're here. And the beauty of this media that we're using right now is we can find each other.
Yes.
When we meet each other, it's like this instant resonance before the first word is spoken. There's something in our glial cells that's a layer right under your dermis, your skin, that puts off a frequency that instantly resonates with that other soul. You just instantly link with them, and you're never apart after that. Even if you're 5, 6, 10 states apart, you're still together. That's the way it's always been. That's the fifth dimension. And that's how we change the world.
Wow. That's really cool. No, because I've had a lot of people in my life like that, where before you even speak to them, it's like, we're going to be best friends.
A lot? Is it really
know.
a lot? Or is it like a dozen?
Well, a lot. That's like a dozen to me throughout my life.
I'm saying
throughout
there
my
are
life.
not many of us here, but we're here to save this world.
Yeah, I believe it. I totally believe it.
The ETs are already here. They're not in ships out there on the other side of the sun. We are here.
No, I believe it, and I think we've been trying to tell ourselves, through movies and stuff like V. It's like, look, we're already here. This whole, are we alone? No, we never were. They've been here the whole time, ever since I guess
What was
the
the other one?
Anunnaki.
Powder was another good example. Another movie like that.
Great movie. Even Stargate, busting out that storyline right there for the world to see. Most were forgotten that story. I think there is a point where you finally just go, it is what it is, and it's all happening. It's not make believe, and it just is. And I think that's where I am right now in my life. I'm tired of asking the questions, because I know that aliens are real. They live amongst us, UFOs and all that. Why can't
UFOs
it be
are real?
And we have the genetic codes to be
we're
realizing
walking.
that we are them too. I mean,
we're a walking
we're connected to
biological.
all the star systems and all. We're a galactic family, and it's our galactic heritage, and that's what we're switching on, because they are us,
though?
we are them.
But what is it though that you think makes Earth so damn special, especially now with all the Webb telescope images showing just endless star systems and galaxies and universes?
Good planets
are we still so arrogant to think that we're special, or are we just one of many university planets out there?
We are, but you have to understand, a planet is a reflection of the resonance of the sentient beings on it. Earth is alive, and it has a symbiotic relationship with us. And when the more part of us choose wickedness, the Earth has an allergic reaction. It rises up. It has earthquakes and tornadoes and and volcanoes and tidal waves.
And
it spanks us down to a few tribes, and we start over again. But there are 8 billion of us alive on this planet right now. And about half of us are wicked, and half of us are what I would call righteous. We're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
What is the Earth going to do? Destroy us or release its bounty to us? It's going to divide. Energetically, it's going to shift into 2 Earths.
And this second shift, the second planet is going to be like heaven and hell. It's going to be like that?
Define that for me.
Well, happiness, not so happy.
Well, happiness is a gift we give ourselves. I would say judgment, because we are our own judge instantaneously by our state of energy. That's why it says in the scriptures, if we judge another person, we have lowered ourselves to that judgment. We become that judgment.
Yeah.
We are then judged with that judgment. Not them, we are.
He who judges themselves, or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So we have to raise our vibrational level actually through the love, because we got to get through that to drop the worst emotion in the universe. It's so bad. This emotion's so bad that angels fall because of it. And that is the emotion of jealousy. We have to shed jealousy.
Right. And that comes with the ego and greed. And jealousy is it's one of the biggest culprits of most conflicts, I would say, in one
You know
way or
what?
another. Someone's jealous. Oh, am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. No, I just think people who are jealous just are longing for something they forgot exists within them. So they're externalizing this thing of, you have something that I don't have. I'm jealous of you. But if they could just come back to themselves and realize, actually, whatever you're jealous of, you actually have, and love yourself enough to be able to find it, because that's the treasure chest. I feel like, that all these incarnations, all this, just the lost and found of this free will universe, and even the zodiac, to me, it's a treasure map that we find ourselves. There's nothing to be jealous of, because whatever you're jealous of is something that you just actually truly want to find within you. You don't think it's there, so you think somebody else has it and you don't, but that's not true. You actually do have it. You need to go inward so that you can discover it, and life will give you everything under the sun to unearth it, if you don't allow yourself to be victimized by the challenges, because the challenges are here to make us strong, and the adversities are here to help us to rescue those treasures. And there's nothing to be jealous of. So,
and actually,
allow the trials and tribulations to help you to discover that, so you don't have to be jealous.
and actually, that's the best description of heaven I ever heard.
Yeah.
That's why we manifest mortal lives. This is our heaven. To experience pain, to savor food, to create life in our own image, to fall in love, to experience challenge. When you're dead, there's no challenge. There's no horizon. There's no ocean. You don't need to breathe. You think that's really air you're breathing? Mortality is heaven. It is where we get to learn and play and express ourselves and be beautiful and write into the Akashic record. It can only be written into immortal form. Why do you think Jesus came to this planet? He didn't come here to show us his divinity. We already knew that. He came here to show us our divinity.
To the light within. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, I know you got a skadoodle.
Oh yeah.
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 And
It's been amazing.
I
to be with you
don't want to
guys.
hold you too long, because we
Well, I
we
could
went
I
over
could
an
hang with
hour.
y'all forever, and there's just so
I
much.
know. It's like time
know.
disappears.
I
Well,
know.
I can't wait till we can get you all back up here. We
Got to
just
go to sleep
sit by the
sometime,
lake.
Laura. No, we don't.
you know?
No, we
Well,
don't.
and I'm going to be inviting you guys to just talk on my come over to my channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much more to do and so much more to create, and
We have actually done that several times. We sang karaoke. I don't know what we sing 75 songs that night.
Oh wow, yeah.
Golly, it was
So
crazy.
many good times ahead, and so many memories to bask in.
Wow. So yeah, no, you've been so sweet to stay this long. So thank you so much. Appreciate you as always. And we're gonna do some more stuff. I promise.
Yes, love you guys. Thank you so much for just bringing me on.
Of course. And then you can come on any other time this week if you have if you want to pop in with Paula tomorrow or whoever, you're more than welcome.
Well, this
Just let
week
me know.
is a bit nuts. I would love to, but I will certainly try.
Okay.
And but so much more to come. Love you, Brooks. Love you, Doc, and everybody, and all our friends and buddies. And good night.
Good night, sweetheart. Bye-bye. All right. So Brooks, so you got a few more minutes?
Yeah, a few. Yeah,
just
sure.
a few. We'll wrap it up at the top of the hour. Had a good question here. Where do we go? Here we go. This is from Donna. She says, what do you think about the metaverse from the Book of Face? Is it to keep us separate socially? I've done actually an entire show on this, which incorporates with the Bible and the theories of what could happen, like the Left Behind kind of concept. Where do you think? What do you think is going to happen with the metaverse, Brooks?
Whatever we want. I mean, they're going to try to do what they do, but then we have to do with Facebook or metaverse what we want to do with it. So you want to post family pictures, you want to share poetry, you want to. I mean, don't try to use Facebook to build your empire.
Right?
They will betray you.
Yeah.
At one time I had, I don't know how many. I don't even know how to count the followers anymore. I don't care. I just post what I want to post on there. People listen to it or don't listen to it. That's fine. Facebook has lost about 40% of its value in the last 3 years. Why?
Yeah.
Because we know what they did. We know what they did. The global syndicate used Facebook to meddle in the 2020 election.
Oh, yes.
Mark Zuckerberg poured like $500 million into corrupting our election infrastructure. And I got to tell you something, of all the nations in the world, this is the one where we have revolutions every 4 years. And
Yeah.
our revolutions occur at the ballot box. Why? Because we trusted our election system. But in 2020, we lost that trust.
Yeah, we did.
And 12 months later, Facebook lost about $20 billion in value. And now they're way down. In fact, Zuckerberg himself is now no longer one of the top 10 richest people in the world. Facebook is going to evaporate. It can change its face, but it's never going to come back to what it was. You know why? Because we're the ones that made Facebook great.
Correct.
Facebook didn't make us great. We'll find another way. We'll go someplace else where free speech is appreciated, Truth Social or Discord, or we'll go other places where they won't censor us.
Right.
Because we're going to speak. You can't stop us.
Yeah.
Facebook is not going to have the influence over the 2022 or 2024 election like it did on 2020. We're going to fix that.
I actually, like I said, I'm going to be stepping aside with the show for a bit, not forever. But I do want to get into this next election somehow. I want to report on it, something. So I need to be a part of it.
Yeah.
The pool
well,
is
this
strong.
red wave is you think it's going to fix everything, and we're going to win a battle, but it ain't the war.
Yeah.
We're going to win a
it's
battle.
Definitely not.
These people do not give up, and they play for blood.
Yes, they do.
It's going to take a generation. That's 20 years for those of you that don't understand that time frame. 20 years it's going to take for us to beat them, and we cannot let up.
No, it's so true. It's so true, and it does take 20 years.
Look at Giorgia Meloni. Giorgia Meloni won in Italy, and she's basically Italy first, which is a great way to be. And Italy's a very old country.
Yes.
Not only is it old, but its people are old. Its median age is the highest in the world, and she has to fix that. It's a hell of a job to do. They're at the opening of the Rhine River Valley. Everything that happens in Europe starts in the Med. Everything for 2,000 years, it started in the Med. Italy controls the Med.
Wow.
Italy is an enormous economy. It's a founder member of the EU. So what does that mean? It means the EU, that blue flag with those gold stars on it, it's going to break apart. It's going to break apart. You watch and see.
Do you think that was they cursed themselves by building the UN building as the Tower of Babel? You think like they doomed themselves?
Yeah. I don't. Have you ever been to the UN?
No, I just remember back in the 90s when they were building it, the poster came out and it showed the certain number of stars over it, and the Prophecy Club was just. If people that don't know, the Prophecy Club, I think they were even before Alex Jones, and they were on the religious level, but they were talking about the end days. They were actually, it was them, and then it was Art Bell for me to get my information back in the day
too.
Yeah.
I mean, they thought about taking the UN somewhere else, but we'd better not let them do that.
Well, I mean, okay, so we have the United Nations. There's that building over in Europe, in Belgium, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have the United Nations
in New York.
In New York. So does one trump the other?
No, but the one in New York definitely has a better buffet. and that's where the world leaders like to come, because they have a 6-star buffet it's the finest buffet in the world. And let me tell you, these people that come from second and third world countries, they come to the UN and they gorge themselves. They drink wine, they eat, they buy whores. I mean, it's unbelievably the debauchery that's at the UN is just crazy.
Oh, because it's kind of like a international waters kind of area, thanks to Mr. Rockefeller.
Yeah, and
donating the land.
Every square centimeter of it is bugged. That's why they should never move it, because we know everything they say. We know everybody that sleeps with everybody else. It's a great way to spy on everybody else on the world. Now, the
It
one in
really is.
Europe is a joke. Nobody pays any attention to it. People go there and they make speeches, and the UN makes a resolution, and nobody pays any attention to it.
Yeah.
Really, it's worthless.
Yeah. That's the only time I ever heard about it was when it was being built. It was so much speculation. Well, why does it look like, the Tower of Babel and whatnot?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the beginning of my rabbit hole, you might say, of the dark New World Order and
Well,
powers
there were a
that
lot
be.
of things that took place in the rabbit hole when Trump was president, because he was very aware of it. He studies it very carefully. First, he went to Saudi Arabia, and then he went to Jerusalem, and then he went to the Vatican, and then he went to Davos, and he basically became the exchequer of the world. He went through those ancient rituals and legends and just threw them on the floor, and they gave him everything. He is the king of everything. So you say that Biden is president of the United States? No. He might be the resident in the White House, but
Yeah.
nothing he has signed, nothing he has said, nothing he has spent money on has come to fruition.
Yeah. Even though
All
he's done
being
so
run.
much.
Yeah. What he has done is succeeded in destroying the country, but that's been allowed as well because we have to wake up.
It's by design. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, in this whole thing, do you see him even being on the ticket this next election? Because even if he
24?
does, do you see him still having Kamal on there after what she did in South Korea?
No, here's what's going to happen. This is my big prediction for
All right.
2023. While President Biden was at the celebrating the Queen's official burial, I won't even call it her death because I think she's been dead for a while, but her official burial.
They actually
while
announced
he
that.
was out of the country, Gavin Newsom flew from California to the White House, not D.C., to the White House. So here's the deal. Kamala Harris is going to be offered a way out. She's going to be given a ton of money and maybe an ambassadorship, and she's going to step out of the vice presidency. Gavin Newsom is going to be appointed as the vice president, and he will then serve out the rest of Biden's term, just like Harry Truman did FDR. Okay, same way.
Yeah.
When FDR died, Truman became president. When Biden steps out, which will not be in 2024, it'll be before then because everybody knows he can't run. He can't debate.
I keep hearing he's not going to make it to the end of the year. They're going to replace him.
I've had dreams, and when I start having these dreams, I don't need to tell you, they normally come true. Biden wakes up very soon and can't speak. He's going to lose his power of speech.
Wow.
He's not going to be able to open his mouth. So the 25th Amendment is going to be kicked in. He's going to be out, which will make Gavin Newsom the acting president. And Newsom will be the one running against Trump, which is basically the Pelosi crime family. That's the power that the global syndicate's going to bring to bear against Trump. So you have the young, beautiful, fifth largest economy in the world governor, Adolf Newsom, running against Trump. And it will be not Trump against Trump, but you got the smile, you got the hair, and you got the 5 generations of mafia behind you. That's what's going to happen.
Well, it was just mentioned maybe I should do a election night show. I think I might do that. I might come back for the election night.
I did, let's say, I think it was October 21st of 2020. I did a program because I did the statistics on the phones, and I determined that Donald Trump was going to win 311 electoral votes, and I had all the states mapped out and everything.
Right.
And everybody thought I was nuts that Trump wouldn't stand a chance, and he won every state I said except for New Mexico. He didn't win New Mexico, so he ended up with 306, not 311 electors, but he won. He would have won in a landslide if it would have gone through. I'm going to do the same thing. October 21st, or real close to that, I'm going to have a program where I statistically analyze everything. do my own surveys, just like I did then. I called AT&T, I called cell phone users, I added up all the numbers, and I came up with the 311 electors. So we're going to do that again for 2023 and our 2022, the inauguration for 2023. I can tell you right now, from the Senate to Congress to the governors to the secretaries of state to the state legislatures and all the way down to your local magistrates, Republicans are going to take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seats. It'll be way worse than what happened in the midterm of Obama's first term. Obama ended up costing, I think, over 700 Democrats their jobs. He was so bad. He was so bad for the Democrat Party. But Biden is worse.
Let me ask you this. Who would be, in your opinion, if for any reason Trump did not, I know he's going to, I'm just saying, what if? Who would be a secondary person right behind Trump to run for president that people could approve of?
Well, there's several that I like. I mean, I don't like Pompeo simply because he was head of the CIA. I respect the West Point. I get all that. He was, class valedictorian. He's a smart guy. I haven't been close to him. I haven't met him. Haven't shook his hand. I haven't looked him in the eye. But I know that spiral energy when I see it. The guy that I have the most respect for is not married. His name is Rick Grinnell. That's the guy that has the integrity to really take the mantle and take it to the next level. I don't think any politician can do it. I think it needs to be somebody in business and somebody that has been associated with Trump on an executive level.
Yeah. And I'm in agreement. I mean, yeah, I'll be voting for him. But I was just curious because we only hear him. We never hear who else is probably going to try to run on the Republican ticket. But
that's because he doesn't want them destroyed before that day.
Yeah.
He only tells us you're going to be very happy with the choice, with the results.
Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So,
well, we are guaranteed in our Constitution a Republican form of government. That's what it says. But we don't have that in our states, which are as big as countries, if you think about it from the founding fathers' point of view. But those countries, all 50 of them, except maybe Hawaii, all 50 of them are countries that are democracies, and which means they are mob rule. And then we take those mobs and we represent them in Washington with the electors. I think it's time for California, for Texas, for Illinois, for New York. I think it's time for them to establish electoral colleges inside their states, county by county. Yeah. And that way, all the other counties in California, Sacramento and Mount Shasta and Modesto and all these counties will have a voice, not just LA and San Francisco.
Right.
And that way, California will survive. Same with Texas. Texas is the same way. It has a lot of land, a lot of counties that have no voice. It's all Houston and Dallas.
It's the main metroplex areas. Yeah.
That's it. Let me make this statement first. There's no such thing as a blue state. It does not exist. That is a total fake news assessment. We have blue cities.
Yeah.
Not blue states. The cities like Chicago and San Francisco and Houston, they assert themselves against the state. I mean, Austin, Texas is like Snowflake Central. So, and that's what happens. These metropolitan areas with 8 million, 10 million, 12 million people, they outnumber everybody else in the state. And so they assert their voice. And so we call California a blue state. It is not a blue state. I go there all the time. You know who I see at Mount Shasta? Nobody's vaxxed. Nobody. That's Trump country. You think Mount Shasta? Yes, because they're awake. They're awake. They know.
Yeah, I was actually seeing Republican marches and stuff in like Long Beach,
Oh,
You
Orange
know,
County's huge. Orange
yeah.
County is a
I
huge
saw that. I was
conservative.
like, I know people there, and they're in Hollywood, and that. But it is. I mean, there's a strong force, but they were hidden, and even in the actors in Hollywood, they had to. It was like the Scarlet Letter. You
Mhm.
couldn't mention that you voted for Trump or you want to work in Hollywood.
Yeah, Mel Gibson, Clint
Oh
Eastwood,
yeah.
Chris Pratt. I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, Chris Pratt's so successful right now, but he'll get right up at the Oscars and he'll say, "God loves you," right
Uh-huh.
there at the microphone. He doesn't pull
No,
any punches. He's
yeah, he stayed up there for a while. He spoke for a bit, which was really, really awesome to
and he got a
see.
lot of applause because you know
He
what? There are a
did.
lot of people in Hollywood feel the same way he does.
Right.
They're playing
Right.
the game, but I mean, we see it because we're trying to pitch birth.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I was 22 years old and had perky breasts and voluptuous lips, I might sell my body to get birth made into a movie. That's the way it's done in Hollywoad, right? But I don't
That's the
have
open
any of that,
secret.
so don't worry about that. That ain't happening.
Erase the image from your minds.
I got to use my brains.
Yeah. Brooks, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I
My
really do
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And
Anytime
we got a lot going here in the future. So
yeah, we do.
yeah, we do. I'm really excited about birth. I'm really, really excited about it.
I like we can do both. I mean, Jet Parker is an amazing story. It's so
Mhm.
producible. It has it's just got everything you need in an action movie. You could have romance plots in it, you could have
Mhm.
n-
There's
you know,
there's some twists. Yeah.
near death experiences, you could
Oh,
have
that, yeah.
spiritual experiences, international experience. I mean, you could even have, like secret agent experiences as these people. They're amazingly talented. You can't
Rick,
take your eyes
yeah,
off them.
yeah. Rick Vossi. That is skydive. Jetman Dubai.
Oh, okay.
Rick, I couldn't think of his name earlier, and then you were saying all these
I
things.
mean,
And
we're
just
all seeing his YouTubes, right? But we don't know
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
We see a bunch of guys running around with these little, packs you hold on your arms and they fly from one boat to another. But
Mhm.
those are just YouTube's videos. Let's make a movie with that. Wouldn't it be just the coolest?
And that guy is actually out of California, and I am trying to finagle him into the project. So because
They're
it's
like
an actual school.
superheroes. They're like
Yeah.
superheroes of the air.
And can imagine you and me, we go to California, we go to this facility, and we get to learn to do jetpacks, but with the arms and stuff, and we're on a chain harness, and
I can do that. I'm not doing the indoor skydiving. I weigh 0.1 metric tons, and gravity does not like me.
you just got to turn the fan up. That's it. So, well, thank you so much, sir. And I look forward to our projects here in the near future. I can't get the smile off my face thinking about it. So,
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's the thing. I wake up in the middle of the night smiling about it. I
Yeah.
can see it. I can see it happening. When I listen to the audiobook, I can see it on the screen. And that's the energy.
Oh, let people know where they can get the book on tape and all that stuff.
No.
Yeah,
of course. You go to brooksagnew.com, super easy. There's only one in the whole world. If you go there, everything is linked there. You can find my radio program. You can sign up for my free newsletter. That means it doesn't cost nothing. And I will send you goodies twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. You can watch the programs while you're working on your favorite project.
Mhm.
You can buy the books. You can buy ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine without a prescription for yourself. You can buy a live stream generator. You can buy EMP shield. All these are great products. They're great ideas. I don't sell, anything else, just the bare necessities that you need to survive.
Right.
And that's the place to go, brooksagnew.com. All the books are for sale on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but if you buy the paperback or the electronic version, it doesn't matter. I will give you the audio version for free.
And it's good.
That's a big value because Audible sells those things for like, I don't know, $28 a piece. I give it to you for nothing. So if you're not a good reader, you don't have to worry about it because I read it for you.
And it's very good. So you want to do it because it pulls you into the story and you can visualize it. Now I think about it, maybe I should do that with no, because it's not a book. was gonna say do that with my script, but
Nah.
yeah.
No, you have to have all the other character development stuff, which is normally not in a script. In a
Right.
script, the only thing that's there is what comes out of the mouth of the actor, and that has to explain the whole movie, unless you narrate. Some movies get away with it; they cheat by having a narrator.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's cheating. Yeah, you're right. Coming from a narrator, that is so true.
And we could always do it animated, but it wouldn't be near as cool because the real thing is way better than to watch what these people can do in a tube of air going 150 miles an hour is just crazy.
Yeah. You know what? Hold on. I gotta pull this up real quick for you, just so we can show everybody, so they know what we're talking about. Mad Cats.
There's a fly, I don't know, maybe a mile from my house. And I keep telling myself I'm going to go in there and just buy some popcorn and watch because there's cars there every day. Every day there are people there. It's a brand new facility.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, this is the video that I saw while I was waiting for everybody to get ready for this Hollywood event and inspired Fly. Check this out. Oh, wait, hold on. You got to have music. Let me turn this on so everybody can hear it. And I'm not really worried about strikes anymore, being the last week. So let's do this. And all right, this is this video. Bruce or Brooks, did I ever show this to you?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, let me just. This is what inspired my movie.
Spreading far,
I mean, you're going to see something that just defies physics, and it incorporates something called burble, which is the space of air above your body that's not being hit by the fan. And when somebody crosses over it, they'll drop because they don't have that air pressure pushing up. So it's called burble. And you'll see them, they literally embrace each other in a moment and spiral. And just
wow.
This is called, this team is the Mad Cats, or Mad Ravens, I'm sorry, from Chechnya.
And this is not CGI, folks. This is real. These people are actually in a column of 150 mile an hour wind.
Correct. And to have that many in there, yeah, they got to turn up the speed. Now here we go. We're about to see it. See how they spiral like that? They're all individual. And then they're going to come back again. Hold on. It's this one movement that I was just like, this is just amazing. Maybe it was this time. They come. Yeah, here it is. Grab. Did you see that?
Wow.
Did you see that? Let me play that back.
They rolled over each other.
Yeah. Right there.
Wow.
That right there, it pushes against physics because literally the person above you, above, because when you're above the fan, you're all your weight is falling on them. So they've got to do it so quickly. And now for the best part, check this out. And time to go. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. I just love it. This is Leonid Volkov. He is the gentleman world champion from Russia. He is the Yoda of indoor skydiving.
Wow.
What he does in control is so amazing. But he was part of the inspiration for Fly, the Rise of Jet Parker, so much that I incorporated his real person into the script as a 3-time world champion. And so he'll give some moments of inspiration in the film. And the kids, of course, they want to reach his not echelon, his level.
And the females that do this are, you cannot
Oh.
take your eyes off them.
Oh yeah. I mean, here's Kira Po from Japan. I think no, China. My bad. Just bring this in real quick. I'm actually here. I'm in this video. I'm actually
That's
right.
cool.
I'm standing like right here with 2 cameras filming. This was at the 2021 games. And it is just beautiful. And it can be kids ages 3 and up to
Wow.
100. And you can be
Wow.
missing body limbs and still be able to do this as a sport. Think of people that have, I mean, look at that. That is control in a fan of air. Man, I could do a whole show on this. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm standing where those spotlights are on the right. I'm right below those steps. And got to watch some amazing people do this sport. And the thing I love most about this sport is the camaraderie. It isn't like we're number one, you suck. You know, it's none of that. They
Not like battle
encourage each other
bots.
because they travel with each other. They perform. They compete against each other. But they cheer each other on, even if they're going up against each other. They cheer each other on. And I saw that, and I was like, that is what we are missing in most sports today. So in my story, I wanted to focus on that and show the community of indoor skydiving, how there's this appreciation, understanding, and trust with one another, because when they're jumping out of planes, you're relying on each other. Your lives are at stake. So there's this brotherhood, this sisterhood amongst the skydiving and indoor skydiving community. And it's been around for 30, almost 40 years. And so it's kind of like polo or, expensive sports like horses and stuff. It's not out there like Sunday night football.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
do that with my story Fly, the first ever movie about the community in this sport, which has never been done. So anyway, yes, that was at the Win Games at Kirapo. Anyway, oh wow, that we just totally sidetracked. I was saying goodnight. Next thing you know, boom. Wow. So yeah, lots of things in the pipeline coming up. So, well, sir, thank you so much again. I appreciate you coming on this last week. And like I said, if you wanted to pop in tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, you're more than welcome to. Just let me know. I'll send you a link. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to Vegas on Thursday. Going to play golf on Friday in Vegas with a friend of mine, and then we're going to Tom Jones concert Friday night, and then play around Saturday, and then fly back.
He's still alive and kicking, huh?
Quick trip. Yeah, I'm still doing stuff, man. I still
No,
play.
not you, Tom Jones.
Oh yeah,
I know
He's
you are
70-something years old and still does a show.
Wow.
And Wales. He's great.
I remember when I went and saw Burt Bacharach. Me and my date were the only ones without a nurse or a defibrillator on standby in the audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good music. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brooks. I'll give you a call soon here, and we'll do some more stuff. All right. So we'll talk to you then. All right.
I know you're going to have an awesome week, so I'll be there with you.
Thank you, sir. You have a great night.
Good night.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, folks. What an amazing night. Brooks Agnew, Laura Eisenhower, a bunch of extra guests that popped in the chat room. All of you hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much. There might be a couple long shows this week. We might do 3 tomorrow. We might do 3 hours. Who knows? So take a nap. I'm gonna have a bunch of people on probably tomorrow. Tomorrow I might just do podcast crazy. All the podcasters come on and we'll just see where it takes us. Of course, that's always how it's been here. So thanks again for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to everybody. Oh my gosh. I was getting so into it. There's like 56 comments in here. Goof On was here. Goof On. Hey, brother. He'll be on with the panel tomorrow night. Awesome. So yeah, look forward to Goof On. We'll have hopefully the Cousins brothers here. Paula, she's coming. She's scheduled for Friday. Dark Hour will be with us tomorrow. He's scheduled. Who else? Rex Bear, hopefully he can pop in. If not, we'll get him somewhere between then and Friday. And let's see who else. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So thank you, everybody. I could go down the list. You all know who you are. Thanks for all the new people that are here that joined us. I hope you all enjoyed the show. And like I said, Goof On, we'll see you tomorrow night. I'll get you a link and we'll go from there. All right, folks. 2 out of 5 days, 3 more and counting. They're going to be pretty cool. You don't want to miss it. At least tell all your friends to head over to Rumble, to the Doc Force. Go ahead and subscribe, or you can just do here at YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all those places. And yeah, join us, will you? All right. So thank you very much, everybody. I am the king of long ass goodbyes. Until tomorrow, Lord willing, I will see you all then. And oh, I was going to show this too. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3. Or should I wait? Should I say that for tomorrow? I'll save that for tomorrow. Yeah, I got some fun videos. Where's the goodbye thing? There it is. All right. So as you know, if you're wearing a baseball cap, please remove it for the national anthem. Wait. I can't stop the show without my thing. I got to do my thing. I'm Captain Doc Skinner on board the Starship Pariah. This is the Doc Force. Remember, folks, as long as we all lift each other up, then we will all rise together. I guarantee. All right, let's try again. Baseball caps off.